Hey there, welcome to my channel. I am Rebecca. This is the first video of this channel. I am an inspiring author. I am currently writing my debut adult. I like to say it's a romantasy, but it's mostly contemporary romance because there is a lot of magic in my world, but it's very modern. The fun fact about this is that it took me 12 years to write this draft. I will be talking about this like in another video, so this is just mostly me to tell you guys what I'm here for and my goals for this year, because since I've already finished my first draft, I am now going into draft 2, and this is the reason I decided to create this channel, mostly because I want to document my journey with all of you. I want to be able to show you guys the struggles and the joys of literally being a self-publishing author, because I do intend on self-publishing my books for now. Like I do intend like to try traditional as well, but I think I'm going to start with the self-publishing route first because I do think it's a bit easier, and I think it's a bit easier, but you still have marketing and I'm just adding the nanas because there's like a really long list of stuff you still have to do for all of that, and I still have to do a lot of research to getting into all of this beautiful world. But that is one of the reasons I decided to start this channel. I also decided to start this channel because I wanted to be able to just like have fun and to also be able to be accountable for my reading. Fun fact, at the end of December of 2023, I started reading again after years, thanks to my friend, and I started reading again by playing those amazing little book games from Choices. Like there's an app, I don't know if you guys know it, and I really loved the stories that I was reading, and I don't know if it was that and it sparked something inside of me, and I was just like, you know what, next year I'm going to get into this and I'm going to start writing, and that is technically what I did. So that is one of the other reasons I wanted to start this channel, because I really want to be able to be accountable for my books. I want to be able to talk about my experiences and also help you guys with how I managed to not only get out of my writer's block, but also sit down and write the book. Because I know there are a lot of people out there that have a lot of writer's block, and some of it may be attributed to a lot of things. I know what mine were. The 3 main reasons of mine were. So I'm actually pretty excited that I got over that, and I'm here making this beautiful debut video here. But anywho, so when I say I want to be like inspiring or I'm a creative person, it's mostly because I literally am a creative person. I studied graphic design, and I currently have an art YouTube channel where I post all of my art. I'll link it down below. It wasn't an arts channel before that, it was something else before that, and then it was also, then that was something else before that. But I settled on my art because that is something that motivated me, and also it also gave me a lot of help, and I was pretty happy just making art that I enjoy. So yes, I also own a small business where I sell stickers and bookmarkers and all those cute little thingies. So I don't say I'm a very busy person. I should be a little bit more busy than I normally am. But when it comes to being creative, I know I have the capacity to do it, Just that sometimes I like to draw, and other times I just like to sit down and read a good book, or I'll just like get my phone and then turn on the app and start reading a whole bunch of like awesome little novels, and me in actually being the protagonist of that novel, which I really love because it also reminds me of some of the Goosebumps books that I read when I was younger, where we literally, like, every decision that we made, we had to go to a different page. It was just incredibly amazing, and I think this is one of the things that I really loved about this app, is because like we get to play as the protagonist, so I really enjoyed that. Yeah, so that's a little bit more about me, but for this video I'm going into my 2025, it's so weird to say 2025, but I'm going into my 2025 goals. I almost forgot the word there. I have my I'm marking a page. I have my bullet journal where I do my bullet journal thingies. Like, I do all the covers for my bullet journal. So this is something that really gets me motivated. Like I said, I'm really into creating and just being motivated by the things that I really enjoy. So I did separate one of the pages into my bullet journal. I decided to separate it into quarters, but there is like a huge but. The reason I decided to do it into quarters because last year I tried yearly planning. It did not work for me. It was so stressful. I think I only got like, what, March? I think I did some things in April, but I did not follow it through. And then when I got into my mid-year bullet journal, I redid like most of the things, and then from there I actually got into doing a lot of things that I wanted to. So this year I am deciding to do another one, which is quarterly goals, to see if that will match my vibes. I do know there is also the 12-week cycle, so if this doesn't work for me, which I hope it does, next year I will definitely be trying the 12-week cycle. Okay, so I have jumped in here to my Notion. This is where I am going to put everything that has to do with writing. Here I know I have my bullet journal, and this actually works for me, so please bear with it. Because there's a lot of things that I want to put, and I don't want to have too much information into my bullet journal, or else it kind of might unmotivate me to continue. So I like to put just the main goals, and then when I get here, this one kind of details every step that I intend on taking with my writing. I do this also with my art, so I actually do have like all the little lists down below, so I can actually do that for myself. Here you guys cannot, unfortunately, you guys cannot see the cover. Well, you can see the cover, but you can't really see like the cover for the book, because this is not actually the book cover. It's just something I took for inspiration. I built it up and I wanted to use that for inspo, so I decided to use this. And even with the name, I have two titles that I have in mind. I don't know which title I want to use yet, and I also have two book cover ideas. This is one of them, and I have another one which I still have to make, but this is just like an idea version for me, so I really enjoyed this. I did get this inspo from Brielle. I will leave her link down below. She is an excellent and amazing AuthorTube here, so if you guys would like to see where the original inspiration for this page came from, the link is down below. I decided to add a little phrase here. In her Notion, she puts it as an encouragement phrase. Here I decided to take a quote that I have been seeing a lot, like when I started out with my bullet journal to just start making it and choosing. Even for my vision board, I also started seeing this phrase like all over. Even before I started doing this, like this phrase was like all over. So I just kind of got it as a sign, and I decided to put God put this dream in your heart. Oh my god, there's a T missing here. There you go. God put this dream in your heart for a reason, and now it's properly done. If you don't believe in God, you can put it as the universe or my higher self. It depends on you. It depends on what you believe in. You can literally, like, this is something that I like to put, so this is what I went with. Down here, which is where I have my writing year in quarters, I did take some time to do this because I wanted to put everything into quarters. So I do have the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. Ignore that. And I do have like the fourth and the entire 2025 year writing interview. So I decided to separate it into different tabs, and just to make it easier for me to follow and also for me not to lose my mind, I filtered it with the quarters here, and it was actually pretty fun. I do use Notion quite a lot. I do have an entire reading log that I created for myself, so I can just write down and know the books that I've read, what I thought about them. So I did that entire thing last year, so I do have that. And I also have like an entire world building, which I like to call it like a world building Bible, that I also created, so I know my characters off by heart, so I know their backstories, and I know like where one book will start, where another will end. And that is technically how I went in with this, and that is technically how this entire thing came to be. So getting back here, I do have some things that I decided to put down, which was finishing, I actually am rewriting draft 1 because I didn't really like draft 1, but thank goodness for YouTube and all the amazing authors that are on there. And what I really enjoyed about it is that a lot of people had said that they do end up rewriting their first drafts, or even later on some of the other drafts as well, until they get to their final draft. So that literally took a lot of pressure off me, because I thought I was really sad when I did this, because I thought I had done something wrong. I did pants this out, so I do have another book that is connecting into this universe, because it's going to be a connected universe for all the ideas and all the books I have. This one is going to actually be a duology, so I'm actually excited about this one, and I intend to finish it in January. I do end up adding also a little word count here and a little sum, so I know how many words I have written throughout all these 3 months. I also do use Tracker Bear for that. I like to keep everything in their separate corners sometimes. Like mostly I use Tracker Bear mostly just to keep the writing for the entire year, or for my writing sessions so I don't forget. And I really like the way it's organized. And here, this is just mostly so I can tell myself that I have done the work, and it's not just an open tab. I actually sat down and I did this work. I do intend on also to start sketching out the main characters as for fan art. I do have a very, very firm idea of how I want my characters to look like. I do have like little pictures that I created from Artbreeder, which I'm not going to show you guys because there is some monster things there and it took me a while to learn how to use that. But I am going to sit down and I'm going to draw I'm going to draw the characters myself. I want them to be in my art style. I want to see how it's going to look. I want to see if I'm going to be happy with how it looks, so I can actually have fan art for my main characters. Here, as you guys can continue, I did put start making the rough sketch for the book cover, because I have two book cover ideas. One has been living rent-free in my head for a really long time, and it has to do with the cover idea that I had because of the other title that I got. And I also have this one, which I do intend on drawing it out to see how I'm going to do it, because I do really like the whole thing of just adding life to your cover and just having like literally like an actual drawing into the cover, so I really enjoy that. Also in February, I do want to start book 2 outline, especially now that I know where I want my main character to go. Like, I already know how I'm going to properly end the book, because I do end this book in a cliffhanger, and I just never knew how to do it properly, how I actually wanted to do it. And since I've sat down and started rewriting this, I actually got a lot of ideas, and the main idea is already in my head, so I already know how I'm going to transition this book to the next one. And then for also after drafting book 2 in February, I also intend on starting the first draft of book 2, which I am so excited for, because ever since I started writing this, it's something that I've always wanted to do, is to go into book 2. At first, this was going to be a trilogy, but I actually changed the story so much when I actually sat down to get to know my characters that it's literally gonna end up being a duology, because, as I said, the other stories that I will be writing after these ones are all interconnected in a way. And it's gonna lead into something else, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm trying not to give spoilers beforehand, but that's all I'm gonna say. So as we move on, I also have outline a Project Nightmare. Project Nightmare is definitely something that I have been dying to sit down and write. I already have the main characters planned out. I already know who they are. I know so much about these characters already, and it's gonna be a really fun one, because I started planning this one out in March of last year, but I didn't really like how the main male character was going, so I did kind of end up stopping. As I said, I kind of end up pantsing a lot of my books, but I kind of want to plan more. You know, I want to plan stuff and then write it, because I did that for NaNoWriMo, and I'm an underwriter, and in NaNoWriMo I was writing like 4,000 words because I planned. So something I could actually 100% be a planster. That is actually pretty good, so I'm going to continue with that. And for the end of March, it's practically that. I know that most of this will change. Probably when I get to March, I probably move either the outlining for this book or literally starting drafting it to another month for another quarter. I'm okay with that, but I do just want to keep in focus of what I want to do this year, which is literally get this first book done, with it ready to be published. Now we're moving on to the right side, and I have the milestones. I kind of kept that with the original one. I really liked it. I only changed like the emojis. I put some fire emojis on the side for the milestones, which is normally what I told you guys, we just finished draft 2 of this one, start draft 3. I actually need to find better readers. I do have that in the self-publishing list, is to find better readers. I'm actually going to ask a couple of my friends who I know love reading to help a girl out. And then I'm going to go back and actually sit down and write their backup information. One of my friends is an author, so I know that she'll have like really good feedback for me, and I am open to being with feedback. I do want to start draft 4. I did have my planning to at least have only 3 drafts, but I realized that some books will take a little bit more to clean out, to flesh out, to get to where I want the book to be. So I'm okay with that. And for the self-publishing, I just want to create the fan art for my characters because it's excellent marketing as well. And it also helps you as the author to connect a little bit more with your audience, because the audience is going to start literally seeing how your characters look like, and you know, like, just get a little attached to it like you do as well. And also the writing and the diagramming the book. I have to see how I'm going to do that, because I can actually hire an editor to do that for me, especially with more in-depth grammar. But I do know how to do this. But do I want to sit down and do this all by myself? That is the biggest question. But I can do all of that. Actually, I can't do all of that. But that is problems for future Rebecca. Rebecca of today, that's sitting here with you guys recording this, is just extremely happy to be here and starting this out. So technically that is literally my writing goals for this year. For my reading goals, I would like to say that last year, as I said, I got back into reading. So I read 20 books, which is very fun, and I'm actually so proud of myself. I don't need this right now. I just turned into Clark Kent, but that's okay. Or maybe Supergirl. Okay, anyway. But I did read 20 books last year, so I was actually very proud of myself for that. And this year, even though I'm doing quarterly goals, I do know I want to read 36 for this entire year. And since I'm doing quarterly goals, I decided that I would read 3 books each month. So to keep me on track, or maybe to motivate me a little bit, or even to have a little bit more content for this channel, because I'm not really a vloggy girl. I would just prefer to sit down and have a little chat, maybe a little rant about how my life has been, or how writing has been going. That particularly is something that I intend on doing. So that's technically all I have for my goals, is just finish rewriting draft 2, start outlining book 2, start drawing the characters, start drawing the cover, like the rough sketch for the covers, because I want my covers to be drawn. I really think that is something really beautiful for a cover to be like drawn. I have also to outline my project Nightmare and start writing it as well, and my reading goals, which is technically read 3 books each month, and at the end it will have a total of 36. As I said, I do have a reading tracker for this. I will put this up again for you guys to see a little bit more of it, where I kind of just sit here and have all the books that I am currently reading or I'm about to start reading. So I do have all of that, or books that are on my wish list, or I already bought them and I have the audiobook for them. So I have decided to like just throw all of that there. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I talked a lot in this video. I hope that's okay with you guys, because this is kind of how it's gonna be. Sometimes when I do something extra, there'll probably be like a vlog. I don't want to have you guys sitting here and just me sipping coffee. Well, I don't really drink coffee, but hot chocolate. Me sitting here drinking hot chocolate. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I talked a little bit too much, but that's just me. I like to talk a little bit. But yeah, and I hope this inspires any of you to either keep writing or even getting your goals for this year done and setting them and just go out and doing it. And have a great one. Since this is the first video of the channel, I will say it. Please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!